Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. And as always, we'll start with EVE Online where, well, it's just some more maintenance, I would say. I'm not being super intense in EVE Online, eagerly awaiting any news from CCP and hoping to make some plans based on that. I do think it's pretty difficult at the moment, like set yourself goals or to try to go hardcore unless you're in the war. But if you're waiting to make plans, then of course you do want to know what's on the horizon in the development of the game. So I've been doing a little bit more exploration, not too much, just on couple of days during the week, and then of course when Bob smiles at you and he gives you 400 million in loot from a single site, that's a part of exploration that I really enjoy as well. It can be super efficient, super rewarding to do that. That one site makes your half hour, makes your whole week in fact, and you're like, all right, that's been pretty damn good, an efficient way to spend my time in EVE Online. Pretty nice returns on investment. Next to the exploration that I did close to Rennes, I'm back in Minmatar space, scoping out some other spaces to take a look at, but that's been really nice and really efficient. I also did the blueprint copy business. Now, sales in Jita very slow. We also saw from the December numbers that Amar is actually decreasing in size a little bit. So it's been pretty hard to unload my BPCs there. So I decided to move my second batch to Minmatar space, to Rennes itself as well, and we're trying to sell over there. We'll see in the upcoming week or so how much I manage to sell, but if that doesn't work too well, I might just take a fast ship out to Cheetah for the batch after that. It's gonna be pretty long, but what I could indeed do, and what I think a lot of players are actually doing, is choose the Minmatar, Hek and Rennes stations as a sort of an in-between stop for all of the activity that you do, so that you can bring that out to Cheetah in a decent amount of jump. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that develops. Yeah, the way things work in Isaac has changed completely, and I think it's still trying to find its footing. So we are part of that cycle as well. So BPCs, that's slowed down, but we're producing them at full pace at the moment. And then my PI, of course, well, we're still just hoarding that stuff, trying to get as much off the planets as possible, and we're hoarding that close to a Mars space. Also a choice that I'll have to make. Do I want to keep those Dital planets up and running? I mean, they've been running for a long time, lots of stuff has been produced there, but perhaps we could look at a more central location for our PI activities. On the other hand, of course, you're bound to get more competition there, potentially higher taxes as well. So it's a difficult balancing operation if you really want to try to get the most out of a solo single character PI operation. We'll see how that develops as well, but that's basically what I'm doing at the moment. Stabilizing everything. All the income is very welcome. I'm either putting that into planning to improve some of my ship fits, pimping them out a little bit, or a little bit of that is also going to go into longer term investments. My wallet's at 110 billion, which is I think a nice percentage of my total character value, and here, yeah, again, trying to just stabilizing, get ready for whatever comes next. It could be inflationary, deflationary, could be a lot of danger, so you best be ready and agile, I think, for whatever comes next. But yeah, let's hope that CCP comes out with some cool news soon, because I'm starting to get the itch for EVE Online news. And next to EVE Online, I've also spent a decent amount of time in Path of Exile, but I haven't gone crazy, I haven't gone super hardcore there. Basically, I got my first Elementalist based on mainly Fireball for single target damage, and then like Armageddon Brand and a Totem that does an AoE as well, Firestorm. All of those three spells are basically my main deployment of damage, and so the Fireballs are really for the bigger targets, the bosses, things like that. And I've gone full glass cannon, just going through the passive skill tree looking for fire damage, elemental damage, spell damage, all of that stuff, really not having any defenses. I got that character into maps actually pretty quickly and pretty easily. I did die a couple of times here and there, mostly to mistakes, but once I am into maps, it does become a lot harder all of a sudden. And the delay that's on all of my damage spells, you could say, right? Fireball is actually pretty slow to get to the target. Armageddon Brand needs to attach itself and then it needs to load up and do an AoE down below. Same thing with Firestorm. That's actually a real problem because from time to time you just get swarmed so quickly you're down before your damage actually gets to do anything. Especially in those rituals, they can get quite deadly at higher levels. So I started a second character, which is going to be something pretty classical, I think. Arc Totem Hero Pond. Thing that leaves you a lot of room for mobility, and you don't basically have that many options on a passive skill tree to go full damage. You do basically get so close to lots of mana and life nodes that you're gonna take that almost instinctively, and so that's got a better balance. I can move out of the way as well. At first I tried with ball lightning and with multiple projectiles to try and basically create totems that would then cover the entire screen with balls of lightning, but yeah, the damage just isn't there, and so I switched back to Arc, which always hits stuff to its maximum potential, very easy to do, and that one is now currently working his way through the acts. But I may still look at Elementalist. I kinda liked how much damage that potentially could be done with that Fireball. It was like at 40,000 DPS without the Ignite part, which is absolutely huge, of course, and so perhaps I'll look into trying to make another build that focuses on a single target spell that's super powerful, but I need better options for clearing if I decide to do that. That's basically the lesson that I learned over there. Not super active this league, although I personally really like the league mechanic. For the amount of time that I've put into Path of Exile so far, I feel like I've gotten quite a few nice rewards, lots of uniques as well, which I know is not like really the end game stuff. But for me, for the way I play Path of Exile, it's nice because it does give me options. Oh, that's a cool one. Maybe a trap character. That's a nice bow, a nice quiver. Maybe I can try a hunter as well. So there's lots of options for me personally that come out of unique. So I kind of like to, oh man, that's one I've never seen before. Let's definitely defer that one so that I can grab it, put it in the stash, and see if I want to test it out later down the line. I'm not someone that's going to push for the late game in Path of Exile. I basically don't have the time, I would say. It's looking at the streamers that are actually getting into the Maven fights. They basically play Path of Exile as a job, and that's really not the time frames that I have available personally. But overall, yeah, definitely still having fun with Path of Exile. The new changes make it very interesting. I want to make another Elementalist. I want to maybe take a look at a minion build as well, although I've seen that it's been nerfed quite a lot. And then there's other options as well that look quite enticing to still give a go. But for now, I think I'm gonna make this Arc character of sort of a low-level map grinder that can provide me with options, perhaps some currency to do trades and things like that. So having fun, still trying to find my footing, and still definitely bouncing into that complexity wall when it comes to Path of Exile. That's not easy to breach, because I think in order to really breach that, you also need to spend an enormous amount of time in the game to fully understand all the mechanics and to find that build combination that will work amazingly. Now you can follow a guide, but I personally just don't want to do that. I want to try my own thing and then just, alright, oh, okay, this does work, that's really cool. That's kind of the feeling that I'm chasing in Path of Exile, not really, being a hardcore solo self-found first Maven kill or anything like that, which I follow some streamers and yeah, they're trying to chase that. But still, it's an amazing game, and all of that for free, except you do want to buy some stash tabs, but buy those on a sale, then it's really a pretty nice way to support the developer. And I'm having fun with Path of Exile and with this league so far. Oh yeah, and that's it for this week, so thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.